Wow, Kevin, you seriously were not kidding when you said let's go somewhere busy.
No, this is, now we're in the heart of it all, right? We've got Big Ben, we've got Parliament, we've got some other stuff that I'm going to take you to, next. But this is heavy foot traffic, right? This is higher pressure. This is mixed intentions. We don't know what everybody's thinking, what they're doing here, if it's for good or for bad. Things are moving. You got different types of people, all different types of people, coming through here. A lot of pressure and no pause button. What does that remind you of?
Well, retail environment, restaurant, a lot of customer traffic, a lot to keep up with for these employees. So now I kind of get the whole idea of, working under pressure and wondering how does that work when security, again, is not your primary job.
Well, in retail, right, noticing behavior while helping another customer, right? Noticing what's going on around you. In banking, you're noticing the subtle changes without any early escalation, right? Or escalating too early. In hospitality, you're reading the room while you're maintaining service. So the risk isn't distraction. The risk is being untrained to notice things while you're distracted.
Okay, so it still goes back to training always.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because without training, you don't have the reinforcement.
So you almost, when you're a frontline employee dealing with a flow of customers, they're not always happy customers, right? So that's, again, a lot to deal with. At the same time, you want to serve them. So that's a lot of pressure on someone who is not trained in security. So I would imagine you have to find ways to train where it just becomes your second nature, where you almost don't have to think about it.
Well, and that's developing a whole system. And that's where we get into, I think, probably our next conversation, right? Because it's not just, I've mentioned that it's, we've got to layer this in, but even that layer is in layers, right? There's a lot of different aspects. There's a lot of different ways that we reinforce this training to make it become just part of a natural behavior.
Exactly.
But that comes from developing a right program, developing the right system, and having the right information and data to be able to do that. And you can't always do that when you're down here on the street level.
Right.
If training only works when people stop doing their job, then it won't work at all.
Yeah, so it's the whole second nature.
Exactly.
Talking about awareness and sort of the second nature piece of it, if it has to live inside the job, what can organizations do to support, that progression and that evolvement of the idea? Because leaders, data, technology kind of shape how decisions are made, right?
Exactly. And for that, you need the bigger picture. So let's go someplace where we can get a bigger picture.
Ooh, I love the idea.
All right, let's go.
I'm intrigued. Let's go.